In this video, we're going to be covering advanced querying in MySQL. Basically, we'll try to unleash the full potential of SQL commands. We're going to start with joins. Okay. So basically, when it comes to joins, there are three types of join. One is known as the inner join. Then we have left or a right join. Then we have the full join. So the inner join is that it's the most common type of join. It returns only rows where there is a match in the join condition. So consider we have two tables, one for the customers and one for the orders, and you want to find all customers who have placed an order. You would basically do an inner join so that you can get the customers with some orders. Then the left join or the right join, basically it includes all rows of one table and the matching rows of the other table, even if there is no match. So consider that if you want to find all customers, even if they haven't placed any orders, so basically you would end up doing a left join in that case on the customer ID column. Then we have the full join. This combines all rows from both tables, regardless whether there is a match in the join condition or not, and it is very rarely used. So again, if I wanna give you an example here, you can say select customers dot name, and maybe you wanna select orders dot amount from the customers table, right? And then you wanna do an inner join on orders. Basically you would tell the name of the column where we have a relationship in the two tables. So we will say join them on customers dot id is gonna be equal to orders dot customer underscore id. So that would be an example of how you would do the joining. Again, you can join more than two tables at a time. You can have 3 joins, 4 joins, as many joins as you want. Normally you would be putting where clauses, right? Where maybe the orders dot amount is greater than 500, so something like that. So you can actually you can filter out the results of join by using the where clause. The next thing we wanted to talk about is, other than joins, we wanted to talk about is the subqueries. So what subqueries is like, it's the nested queries. You can consider them as a mini queries embedded within another query. So imagine you need to filter or analyze data based on the results of another query. So that's where you're going to be using that subquery. So you can think of the subqueries as building blocks, which has the outer query, you have the subquery, So it acts like a self-contained query, providing intermediate results, which is basically going to be used by the outer query. So an example is gonna be if you have complex comparisons, right? You're gonna we want to list five most popular products based on their total quantity sold. So maybe you're gonna have a subquery calculates uh, the total amount per product, and then we're gonna have an outer query to take only five with the most amount of quantities. And then we have some types of subqueries. So there is a type known as single row subquery. Basically it means that the subquery, which is going to be feeding the results to the outer query, is going to be returning a single query used within the outer query. But then again, contrary to that, we have multiple row subquery. Again, it's going to return set of rows used within the outer query. Then there's another type known as um, correlated subquery. So this references the columns from the outer query, enabling more dynamic filtering. So so you would be referencing some columns from the outer query, and so basically the subquery is gonna become is gonna act as a query, and then you're gonna be is gonna act as a column, and then you would be using that as a column in your outer query. That would known as correlated subquery. Again, in subqueries we have comparison operators, which is gonna which are not limited to only these ones, but they are common ones. Equals to, greater than, equal to, less than, greater than. Then we also have where clauses. Then we have select clauses. We have a having clause in the subqueries, and then just remember that when using the subqueries, you are basically adding complexity to the queries. So just start with simpler examples and gradually progress making subqueries and feeding the results to the outer queries. Now we're going to want to talk about the aggregate functions. Okay. What aggregate functions does is like they are gonna aggregate the results. An example is gonna be the count. So if you wanna know what is the count of certain records, you will be using this aggregate function. Similarly, you can use sum, which is gonna be basically calculating the total sum of a numeric column. Okay, and it is ideal in finding the total sales, website traffic, or product quantities. Those kind of things can be we can use sum. Then again, just like that, we have an average, which is not gonna be calculating the sum, it's gonna be calculating the average value of the numeric columns. Then again, we have min. It retrieves the minimum value of in a column. Just like that, we have a max, which is gonna give you it returns the maximum value in a column. So that is a common one, right? Normally, just remember when you are doing this and these kind of aggregates, you are gonna end up using group by, and also sometimes you will be using uh, the group by and order by, but definitely group by. Reason being is like the group by clause, uh, it categorizes your data into meaningful groups before applying these aggregate functions. So wherever you would see these ones, Normally you would also see group by, uh, or you can also filter down the result by combining it with having, with the keyword having. Okay. Okay, now we wanted to talk about this a little bit more as examples where we are doing some group by. So group by and order by. So the concept here is to categorize your data into sets based on specific columns or expressions. An example you can think of is like you want to group the customers by city to analyze purchase behaviors in different locations. So you would like to group the results based on the customer city. So you can aggregate it, average it, whatever, sum it, do some kind of aggregate operation on that. Uh, Again, you can another example can be like you wanted to get to know the product popularity across the regions. That would be an example of like using a group by. And order by is gonna be basically it's arranging your data rows in a specific sequence based on one or more columns. So an example is gonna be that you are trying to order the products by price from highest to lowest to identify the premium items, like uh, so which are the most expensive items you have. So then you are gonna be using the the order by. And the last thing I wanted to cover in this video is there are some expressions, like you can call it advanced operators. Now one is gonna be the case expression. So just like any programming language where we say the case expressions, like if this is true, it's gonna be this, otherwise that value. So we can have a case expression in SQL commands. It perform the conditional logic within your queries, assigning different values based on specific conditions. An example is gonna be like you want to classify customers into tiers, like you wanted to classify them into bronze, silver, and gold based on their on the total purchase amount. So that it's a good example of using case expression. Then we have another one which is the like operator. So this is like you're gonna be using it when you are performing a pattern matching for partial string searches or enabling flexible text-based filtering. There you're gonna be using like. So an example is gonna be find all customers whose names start with John or Jane. So you would use a like operator saying that it's gonna be either John or it's like Jane. Third one is gonna be between. As the name suggests, it filters for values within a specific range, simplifying numeric comparisons. So an example could be that uh, find all orders placed between January 1st to March 31st. So for those 3 months, I wanted all the orders that would be inside the. You can use the between operator for that. Another one is in operator. So over here, like you are basically checking if a value exists within a set of values, enabling efficient multi-condition filtering. So an example is gonna be that find me all the products belonging to specific categories, like the product is in electronics and is also in clothing, or it is in electronics or it is in clothing. So you can use the in operator for that. Okay, that's all I wanted to cover in this video. Thanks for watching.